Hey everyone, so it's time for my favourites again. I don't really do this every month, I kind of do it every second month. I'm going to jump into it and start off with makeup this time. Foundation that I've been using a lot, kind of to do with dehydration and some drier areas. I haven't really been suffering from much kind of oiliness unless I'm like working all day or whatever, but usually it's pretty okay. This Max Factor Miracle Touch Liquid Illusion Foundation. It's a really unusual foundation in that it looks like a cream, but it really does glide on the skin like a liquid. It's actually really lovely. It does come with a sponge that I've since gotten rid of because I wouldn't really use it. But I just use like this kind of brush, like a stippling brush or a buffing brush to pop it on. This is a lovely colour as well. I think the same colour over all the Max Factor foundations as far as I know. It's the Creamy Ivory number 40. And even though it's not as yellow as I am, it's definitely more, it kind of does look a bit more pink, but it's more like neutral. It just kind of evens out my face. It's absolutely grand. It doesn't look like there's much in there, but it seems to last a good bit because I've had this for months now. I think I could have had it since the last, no, I think I actually could have this since last year, but I haven't used it consistently since I've had it, but I still have used it quite a lot and I haven't made a huge dent in it quite yet, but I really like that. So basically it's just a lovely moisturising foundation that looks like a cream and then kind of goes on like a liquid. And you definitely do need to powder it though if you want it to last and just to stop transference. Another foundation that I surprised myself at really liking because I didn't love it at the start is the Letzmakeup Light Liquid Foundation. The reason being I wasn't giving it a good shake when I first used it, and many of you will know that if you don't shake up foundations, especially if they've just been left sitting for ages, some of the properties on them can like separate and you just get a kind of a wishy-washy weird foundation because a lot of the time the pigment can separate and would be heavier and can go to the bottom. I gave this a little bit of a break after not really liking it at the start, then went back and gave it a good shake and I've been using it maybe twice a week for the last while and I really love it. I love the colour first of all. It was LF135. Apparently this has been discontinued. That's why it was in the bargain kind of bin when I was in Charles Fox in London in March. It's a shame because it's a beautiful colour. Hopefully they have other ones similar, but I just really like how it goes on the skin because it's quite light, but it seems to cover your skin tone quite well, or you know, any uneven tone rather, which is what I love because I'm not really a big fan of very heavy foundations. So that's that guy. You can still get the light liquid foundation, just not this particular colour. For setting powder, I've been dipping into my Clinique Invisible Blend powder. This is number 20 quite a lot. I just love this because it'll mattify the skin without totally flattening it out. You get loads of product. There's 35 grams in here, 1.2 ounce, and it's just the colour I have, the number 20. I really love it because it is like a creamy yellow, which is lovely for, well, first of all my own skin tone, but also for anyone who has a little bit of redness. It's just really lovely on most people, and it's not so yellow that it'll make anyone who like myself is a little bit yellow naturally or a little bit sallow, it won't kind of make them look way more yellow. As far as blushers go, or like kind of cheek products, this I was really impressed by. This was, as far as I know, it's limited edition, but it's still in the shops. It's the Revlon Photo Ready Little Cream Blush, and it is in, this is number 200, Flush Rougeissant. Probably not pronouncing that right, but there was a kind of a corally nude colour and then this one in Boots. So as far as I know, there's only 2 colours in Ireland anyhow, but it's just a really lovely, first of all, shade. And it almost feels a little bit powdery when you're blending it in. It's not a very, by any means, a very greasy kind of cream product. It's probably quite silicone-y, that's what it feels. It has lovely, like smooth kind of feel to it. And it just gives a really lovely dolly kind of pink look to the cheeks, which I love. And then I suppose one of the only other cheek products that I've been using, and this is like cheek and eyes or wherever, it's the Hollow Pigment by Letzmakeup. So I had heard a lot about this in that it was really good for contouring for very pale skin. I don't actually have it on today, but it would look very similar to this. I have the Letzmakeup Primal Blusher on, which was discontinued. It was a powder one, but it's a similar tone to the Hollow. This is a little bit lighter. But the Hollow Pigment goes on beautifully if you do want to use it for contouring, or I've been using it as eyeshadow. It's just a really lovely, very multi-use product. And I really like the Letzmakeup pigments. I got this and Dab. I just haven't used Dab much. There's a lot of products I got over the last couple of months that I really haven't had a chance to play with much yet. So that's, in case you're wondering why you're not seeing certain things that I had shown in other videos, that's why I just haven't used enough of them. I'll jump on to eye products. This one I have been using to death when it comes in weddings. You can see I've made a big dent in the middle there. I've used it on so many brides and bridal parties. It's Vintage Selection Paint Pot by MAC. It's just that beautiful champagne colour. It's gorgeous. It has just enough of a sheen, or like I don't want to call it shimmery. It is a little bit shimmery, but it's not like it has any particles in it. It just has kind of a frost finish. Again, without being particly or like there's not bits in it. It just goes on really, really beautifully, and it works so lovely as a base for your eyeshadow because it has enough of a sheen that it'll lift any eyeshadows you put on top of it. Like you still get a hint of that sheen through it without making it shimmery. And of course the Pro Longwear, all the paint pots now are Pro Longwear paint pots. This was one of the newer shades that came out when they released all those new shades last month, I think, or maybe the month before, I'm not sure. But there are some really lovely shades in it, and this is one of my favourite ones. And of course, like I was saying there, the Pro Longwear paint pots, I think, is it 8 hours they last up to on the eyes, or longer, I'm not sure, but they last a long time without creasing. I've always found this with the paint pots anyhow, but the new formulas are amazing. I was absolutely blown away by these guys, and I have used them and shown them in videos, so you probably will know what they are. And it's the Kiko eyeshadows. So it is the Colour Sphere Duo eyeshadows, and this is number 108, the purpley kind of one, and this is 101. So these are just so soft. They go onto the skin so creamy. Like one side tends to be creamier than the other. The light lilac and the brown are the creamier shades. So this one here and then the gold are a little bit bittier, but they still go on beautifully on the skin. You just might need more of a base so that, you know, they don't kind of fall everywhere. But they're fantastic, and I was trying to remember the price because I don't know where I put the receipts, but they're very fairly priced. The Kiko brand is Italian, but I got it in Westfields in London, and I think they might have been only around £7 or £8 for the eyeshadows. Either way, even less maybe, I'm not sure. They're very affordable. This palette, which I got in Flair Hair and Beauty, which is a professional makeup supply store in Ireland, they sell mud or makeup designery. I have these 4 browns. They're all mattes. There's Canyon, Chamois, Espresso and Taupe, and I just use it constantly. I nearly have this living on my desk now because I just use these as my browns when I'm doing a smoky eye, particularly on myself on a day-to-day basis. I just love, there's a really nice selection. This one's a little bit cooler, then you have your really warm ones, and there's a little mirror which is kind of handy as well. But I just love how well they blend, the colour payoff. And I know they are hard to get hold of because I got it in a professional shop, but as far as I know you can get MUD or Makeup Designery online, no problem. And of course they're very easily available in the States, particularly in Los Angeles. But that's a fantastic quad that I made up myself. A couple of cheaper bits that I really love. First of all, I got this Catrice Smoky Eyes. I don't think I've showed this on camera yet or on video, but I have been using it on myself in everyday life kind of. And this is really lovely smoky, like, or what would I call it? It's just a pencil, a smoky eye pencil, and it does come with a brush rather than one of those like unhygienic sponges on the other side. But it's just really handy for smudging out if you don't want to use, or if you don't have, say, a brush handy if you're traveling. Now I nearly always do have a brush handy, but I just really like the shade of this and I find it lasts really well. This one is number 30, It's a Pleasure Treasure, and I really like the Catrice products, particularly for the price point. Another Catrice product that has been living on my face is the Catrice Eyebrow Set. This, as far as I know, only comes in the one colour because there's no reference to shade on the back, and I don't remember seeing any other colours when I was there. It comes with 2 shades, and that's probably why. There's a lighter kind of taupey brown and a slightly darker brown. Now it does come with these guys, if I can open it. Yeah, these guys underneath. So there's a little, like an angled brush, a tiny spoolie, and a really tiny tweezers. I don't use them, but I'm sure if it was an emergency they'd come in handy. I just use this with whatever angled brush I have on me at the time. It's just a perfect colour. It's what I have on my eyebrows at the moment, and it just matches my current hair colour really well. And I like that there's the 2 shades in it. So this is, again, a really fairly priced product because it's Catrice. Can't remember exactly, but it's very low. And then Catrice's sister brand Essence has this brilliant mascara out at the moment. It is the I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. It'll be easy to see because it's in this really bright pink packaging, which I of course love. It has a big heart in the front. What is brilliant about it, apart from the fact it cost, was it $2.75 or $3.75? Either way, it was really inexpensive. The brush, you can probably see it better there, is a total copy. I'm not saying that these copied them or that they copied these, but they're the exact same is what I'm trying to say, of the MAC in Extreme Dimension Mascara brush. It's the exact same. I almost cannot tell a difference, and I have been wearing this on my eyes for most of the last couple of weeks. The only tiny downside to it is that maybe after a good few hours, tiny little bits of black, and I'm literally only talking about 1 or 2 little bits, can fall on the cheek, but this really has been minimal. But if I'm looking for anything to pick at it, that would be it. But besides that, it wouldn't put me off. I will definitely repurchase a few of these guys because this is a phenomenal mascara if you're really after that really nice built up volume without it being clumpy, without having to add on loads. So that's that guy. I have my MAC mineralized charged water. I just repurchased this again recently and I literally use it every day. That's why, just pop some on now, that's why I definitely think it deserves a mention, because I love it and I love the scent of this kind of over the Fix Plus. So the Fix Plus is a botanical water spray. It does have a lot of good things for you, whereas this would kind of contain more minerals, and this has diamond powder as well to give it a slight sheen to the skin. So I really love that. I think I should mention this as well just because I've been using it so much. It's the Prep and Prime Moisture Infusion Serum. It's my go-to serum when I want something light to just kind of keep my skin hydrated without wanting to put a load of product on it. And I'll often use this under, say, BB creams and stuff like that if I find that maybe the BB cream isn't moisturizing enough, but I don't want to put it on bare skin and I don't want to put it over a heavy moisturizer. That's perfect. Lip products, I have been loving the Apocalypse lipsticks. I think they're absolutely phenomenal. These guys, I can't remember the price. I think they might be €8 or €9 in Boots. They're on a 3 for 2 and that's why I picked up in my next 3. I'm wearing, what's this one called? 600 Nude Eclipse, which is the nude one on my lips at the moment. I just love the kind of finish it gives. I'm wearing it over my e.l.f. lip liner in, what colour is this guy? Crystal D12. I think I've had this for a long time. I just love how it's quite inexpensive again, and it gives a really lovely natural look to the lips. It also has a little brush on the end. I know you don't have to wear a lip liner underneath it, I just like to. And I have the bright red one, which is Big Bang. The nude one which I've on, Celestial, is this gorgeous kind of rosy pink one. And I have Apocalyptic, which is this brighter pink, and they're fantastic. They've definitely been favourites of mine over the last month, and I still have yet to do a blog post on them. I have been loving this blotting paper by the makeup store. Japanesque do a very similar, or do the same idea, where the blotting paper is in a roll. You pull out however much you want, and then there are little teeth on the lid that you can, you know, you can customize the size of the sheet to your own need, and then go ahead and it'll work like any other blotting paper, like the MAC one, Body Shop or whatever. The last couple of bits would be the Prep and Prime highlighter in Radiant Rose by MAC. I love this because first of all, it just brightens anything if you're quite pale. I've been loving it as a highlighter for photography and stuff like that because there's no flashback, because it's just lightening your skin really without, like, it's not like this where there's shimmer on. It doesn't give that wet look when you know, when light hits it. It's more just like, it looks naturally highlighted. It's just fantastic, and I've been using this on myself on my dark circles and down the centre of the nose and stuff, and that's just brilliant. This Vichy Lift Active Serum, Serum 10, this is for eyes and lashes, and I've just absolutely been loving this. It took over from the Elemis Pro Collagen Advanced Treatment, which I had finished, and now I was worried I wouldn't find anything that I loved to take over from it, because I think a serum is different from an eye cream in that it just feels a little bit more nourishing. I often pair it with an eye cream to go over on top. This is absolutely fantastic. The only thing I would say is that the pump in it is a little bit problematic. Reminds me a little bit of the Pro Longwear concealer pump, where almost too much comes out and you're worried of wasting it, because, you know, there's only 15 ml in it to begin with, and I will be very sad when this is finished, but I'll probably repurchase it because I'm loving it so much. Then these two guys, the La Roche-Posay Nutritic Intense Nutri Reconstructing Cream. And I also have the Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. So this guy, you may have seen me going on about the thicker version I had of this in the jar, which was for very, very dry skin. And this is the one for more for like dry skin, which is a little bit less emollient than the other one. And this has been my night cream pretty much every night until I started using a new night cream that has retinol in it, but I'll still alternate between that and this so that I'm getting like my deep moisturization. And I love this. I slather it on my face, particularly after a very hot shower or anything like that. And they're really not that expensive. They're about £17. There's 50 ml in it, and it's just a lovely, lovely cream for dry skin. Then this, the Cicaplast, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the Soothing Repairing Balm by La Roche-Posay. This is fantastic. It's kind of like the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. You put it on anything that's uncomfortable or that needs soothing. You know, it's kind of like just that does all kind of wonder product. This contains panthenol, so that is quite soothing, and then it has antibacterial ingredients on it as well. So this I've been using on any issues at all, anywhere in my body that I've been kind of dealing with, and this is fantastic. It really does soothe. And the very last thing I'm going to show you quickly, because I'm running out the door to work myself, is this. Okay, this thing here, if you can see it. So you can see there's 3 steps, and it has loads of compartments for my brushes. Now, I was not going to show you it just because I'm not sure if you can get it anywhere, in that when I was looking for something like this, I went into a local office supply store. I was looking to see if I could find anything like this for my brushes. I didn't see anything, and then just as I was leaving, I looked down on the floor and I saw this dirty but empty thing here, this guy, and it had been the kind of container for pens that were for sale, in that the pen manufacturer themselves would have sent the office store this along with the pens. Because this was empty and you know, there were no more pens left, I kind of cheekily went up to see if I could have it, and he gave it to me, which I was delighted with. So that's always something you could do if you can't find anything like this to buy. Stationery stores and office supply stores are brilliant for getting these kind of things. And like I said, most of the time, because I have worked in stores before where we used to sell like stationery and stuff, and they do often throw away these things afterwards. So do chance your arm and go in and see if you can get your hands on them, because I'm delighted with that. I think it's just brilliant. I finally have one place for all my eye brushes instead of having them in 3 different places. And actually, one more thing to show you really quickly. This beautiful skin cleansing brush by No. 7. It rotates like that. It is like a deep cleansing and exfoliating brush. This guy here, it's €33 in Boots, but a lot of the times you'll get that €7 off voucher in Boots, or €6.50 or whatever it is. So I got it for €26, and it's very like the, I can't remember the name of the product, and everyone on YouTube has it. I'll insert it here, but it's very like that anyhow. And this is only like a smidging of the price, and I've been loving this since I got it as well. I've only had it for about 2 weeks, and I've still noticed it's done a great improvement to my skin surface. So that's that, and that's the end of my favourites for March and April, and I'll see you again for my next favourites in another 2 months. But in the meantime, you'll see me for plenty more videos in between, and I'll chat to you all really soon, guys. Slán.